Coach, 7 for 58 from beyond the arc the last 3 games. I've been around a long time. I don't ever remember Carolina defending the 3 that well. Talk about the progress since the Oklahoma game when the Sooners lit it up for about 41%.
Well, I mean, we're getting better defensively. It's something that, we've identified to allow us to be successful and to be the best team that we can possibly be. It was really right before the Oklahoma game, and, I had spoken to the team and I said, look, like, what is required is for us to make a full commitment on the defensive end and rebounding the basketball. I said, guys, I'm not even talking about offense. If we can defend, if we can take care of basketball, that's going to put us in position to be able to be successful whomever we play. And I said, it takes a full commitment. And from that Oklahoma game, it just continues to build. Guys are taking pride in their one-on-one individual matchups, doing a good job of boxing out. We're rebounding. This is, I think, the 5th straight game that we've out-rebounded an opponent. And so, but also the encouraging thing is how much better I think we can get. We can do a better job defending without fouling and being disciplined on the defensive end. And so I like where we are, but I like, where we can be defensively.
There are teams that, when they come off the road trip you guys had, and then they're coming home for a new start, might be a little bit flat. The guys said that you were really emphasizing being at home, the joy of playing at home. How much was that a part to sort of maybe stave off any potential of them getting flat? And what was that message that you were telling them?
Well, I just, anytime you get an opportunity to play basketball, to compete, to do something that you love, you have to play this game with emotion. And so I'm an emotional person, and an emotional coach, and the 2 days in terms of preparation for Syracuse was real. And it was an opportunity to be back at home and compete against a really good Syracuse team that was playing extremely well. And I always, talk to them about moments and the joy of how hard it is to be successful out there, how much, these things, it goes by quick, and I tried to tell them, outside of my wife and my kids, like, I would do anything to put that uniform back on again. And so they have that chance, and it's special to put on that uniform and run through that tunnel and play on that floor and play in front of those fans. And they played with a lot of emotion today, coming off an emotional win on Wednesday against NC State, and I was really proud of their effort.
Hubert, to go back to the defense, a lot of the guys gave Coach Sullivan a lot of credit for the preparation that he's done. How have you seen him sort of spearhead some of the turnarounds you've seen on the defense?
Yeah, he's been great, in terms of, just defensively, helping us build what we want to do on the defensive end and what it looks like. And I also think the guys now are being able to see the benefit of it. You could talk about it, we need to do this defensively, we need to rebound. But once you do that and you see the benefit as a team and individually, like more playing time, I think guys are like, oh, this is nice. I like defense. I like to rebound and box out. And so I think that trust on the defensive end is building. And one of the things that I always tell them, I showed him a clip at the beginning of the season, and it was Kevin Garnett, and he was talking about defense, and he says, I'm only in the place where I was supposed to be because I knew my teammate was going to be where he was supposed to be. And I said, that's the type of trust we need to have out there on the floor, specifically on the defensive end.
What do you think was really clicking for you guys offensively? You shot it very efficiently. I know you guys went inside, were able to go inside a lot. What do you think was clicking on that end of the floor?
Well, I thought our pace was really good. After we got the stop, I thought the way that we advanced the ball from defense to offense, it was at a good pace. We were pitching the ball ahead. We were playing 0.5 offense, where as soon as we touch it, we were shooting, passing it, or driving it. It wasn't sticking at all. We talked about dominating points in the paint, and as good as Syracuse is, they're limited in the front court, and so we wanted to get the ball inside, whether through post penetration and offensive rebounding. So irregardless if they were in man or zone, those are the things we were looking for in the offensive end, and those are the things that we were able to consistently do.
58 is a season high for paint points.
Hubert, Syracuse had it down to 15 early in the second half, but you guys didn't flinch and immediately, pretty much blew the doors off them the rest of the way. I mean, does that poise in the team, does that go back to the trust that you were talking about earlier?
I think so. You know, how many games has it been? Total? How many?
16.
16 games. I mean, pray. Okay. Sorry. It's always around you.
Yeah.
Why is Jesus telling me to pray?
That's because you're
What's
around.
going on here?
That's because you're around.
Oh my goodness. No, it was, you know, Bell hit the three in the corner and it was giving them some life, and I just felt like, one, offensively, we took care of the basketball, we got the shots that we wanted, then defensively we started locking in, started getting steals and deflections and stops, and then we were able to get out and transition and go. And so we've been in those situations. That's saying, like, in the 16 games, the schedule that we played and the teams that we have played, we have been in a lot of situations. So one of the things that I'm just so pleased about is this group doesn't get rattled like easily. And so in those situations, we can just get back to what we need to do and be able to extend the lead, and that's what they were able to do.
RJ, talk about the joy of being successful. Is there a way to quantify how good it feels to see the team performing as well as they have?
It is a joy for me. I mean, my job is to coach, to serve, to help, to assist, and that's my job every day, is just to individually and as a team make them the best that they can possibly be. So for me, having a front row seat to be able to see that growth, not just on the court, but off the court and in the classroom, is something that I find great joy in and very enjoyable to be around. And so I like when the guys are having fun and they're having smiles on their faces, because they're enjoying something that they love, they're doing it at a place that they love, and they're doing it with teammates that they love. You check those three boxes, you're gonna have joy, and that's what our team has.
Coach Autry didn't expect to play as much zone as it did. Was it fun to play against the Syracuse man-to-man, and did you expect that you were gonna have to dust off the old Jim Boeheim offense so quickly?
No, I mean, they play zone out of bounds underneath, and so we knew that we would have to go up against their 2-3 zone in certain situations. That was the first time all season for an extended period of time that we had to go against a zone. So, for us, it was really good for us to work on our zone offense, because that's something that's gonna happen to us in the future, and we've gotta be able to execute in those situations. And to understand that whether it's zone or man, we still want to get points in the paint, whether it's post, penetration, offensive rebound, or quick open threes by our best three-point shooters, and I thought we did a really good job of that.
Hubert, I'm wondering how much of your defensive focal point was making Syracuse play in the half court today?
Well, one of the things is we wanted to take care of the basketball. They're number one in the ACC in terms of steals, and so a little bit over 9 a game, and so that, they score in 2 areas, a number of areas, but their top 2 is off of steals and then getting to the free throw line. So in the first half, I think they scored 30 points, 19 of them were off of free throws and off of our turnovers, okay? And so that's something going into the game that we identified, and something that we had to do well. We had to take care of the basketball, and we had to defend them and not foul them and put them on the free throw line.
RJ 5 steals today. RJ 5 steals today, a career high that he set earlier in the season. A lot has talked about his scoring output, but how have you seen the evolution of his defensive game as well this season?
Yeah, he's been great defensively. His ability to get steals and deflections, but defend without fouling has been huge. Such growth in that area, and then also just his leadership. He's just so vocal in practice and huddles during the games, in the locker room, his presence, the guys listen, they look towards him, and he's our leader, and he's done a fantastic job this year.
Hubert, what kind of obviously Jaylen Willers, a ton of college basketball experience, but what kind of attitude do you think has he brought to this team? I know Cormac and Harrison are super intense in their own right, but for Jaylen, what is he giving you guys? You know
what he brings to the table, we just don't have. We don't have that type of length and athleticism. You saw some of, like the dunk that he had at Pittsburgh, like there's nobody on the team that can do that. know, and so, because of his length and his athleticism, we're allowed to do a number of things defensively. We can be very versatile because he can guard guards. Today, we put him in at 5, and he was playing the center position because of that. And then on the offensive end, you know, he can really shoot the basketball. Shot 40% from 3 last year, but he can also finish around the basket, excellent offensive rebounder. And when he's in the game, he makes us big. So then you move Harrison to the 3, that's a big lineup. And that, you know, Harrison at the 3, that's a problem. And so he does a number of things for us, and I'm glad he's here.
Just to follow up on that real quick, I mean, I know it's January 13th, but for a guy like him to be 5-0 in the league, or first place in the league, do you think he appreciates that maybe through the journey that he's had?
I do. This is all new, you know, for him, and I think he appreciates it. I think Harrison does. I think Cormac does. I think Paxson does. I think Elliott and Zayden do, but they don't really know. And I think the guys that played last year know. And but I do also like that we're happy, but we're not satisfied, and that there's a long way to go and a lot more room for improvement.
Last one, Andrew.
Jaylen Washington, excuse me, was talking about being more physical, and I'd asked you about that the other night, and you said that playing against Armando every day has really helped him.
Yeah.
He's had more results too. Have you seen the results in his confidence sort of go hand in hand, that there's been a spike in confidence, and therefore maybe a little bit more of his game continues to be unleashed as a result?
Yeah, I do. You know, he's, I think he can be an elite rebounder. He gives us another post presence. He's a 5 that can stretch the floor, and he can shoot from 3. He's an excellent passer and sets really good screens. And I think I told you after the NC State game, like, he's our best post defender. He really is. And so the job that he did on Burns, and, you know, we didn't have to double team a lot because he was out there, and he's just been a huge benefit for us. And so much so that there have been times lately now that he's on the floor with Armando. And so now we're going big, and so that's the versatility that we have. We can go small, we can go big, and Jay Wash's ability to shoot the ball from the outside, he's different than Armando, gives us that look and gives us an advantage on both ends of the floor.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks,